Good morning, Stampers. It's Tracy Frith here from Sherwood Park, Alberta. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm on today to show you a card made with some product that's on the last chance list. So we're going to use today a couple of things, and I've mixed up a couple of sets here. I'm going to be using the Timeless Tulip stamps, which are retiring at the end of, beginning of May, end of April, beginning of May, May 2nd, actually. And I'm also going to use the Tulip Builder Punch. And I'm going to mix that with the Flowering Fields designer paper. So we have another tulip set that's in our current mini catalog, our January to July catalog, and that's what excuse me, that's what this paper is from. It's the Flowering Fields, but I thought I would pair it with the older tulip set because I like that one as well. All right, so we have for our supplies, I'll do the white first. So we have 4 pieces of white, of the basic white cardstock. So we have 2 pieces that are 2 1/8 by, let me start that again. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Okay, so 2 pieces of that. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. We have 1 piece that's 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then our piece for the inside is 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, so that's our white. And then I also have a little scrap that I'm going to do some stamping on and punch out. All right, these designer series paper pieces are just slightly smaller. So they are 1 3/4 across by 5 1/8. Okay, so they're going to be matted onto the white. Okay, I have a piece of fresh Freesia. I have 2 pieces of fresh Freesia. One is the mat for the white square. So this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4, so 1/4 inch bigger than the white. And our card base is standard card base size, so it's 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. But because we're going to be doing a fancy fold, and I forgot to mention this, so this is the first in a series of 4 where I'm going to be talking or showing different ways to do a gatefold card. Okay, so this is going to be our first gatefold card. So the score on this one is not our standard down the middle. It is 2 1/8 from either end, okay, or from both ends. Okay, so you're going to score it here, and you're going to score it here, 2 1/8 away from the end of the base. All right, so I will start with my stamping here. I'm going to bring in this piece of white. So my white square and then my scrap is what I'm going to need for the stamping part. And the other pieces I'm just going to put aside. All right. I'm hoping that everybody is having a great week so far. I've had some good weather. I haven't actually looked outside today to see what it's doing today. But it was looking quite lovely the last couple days. Oh, I have a sample card as well. So I did this one up using some different paper and different colors. But this is basically what our card is going to be. So our gatefold card opens like this. All right. So I'm going to do, this part will be very similar, and then I've just used some different papers for that one. All right. So I'm going to start with my small tulip, and I'm going to do that one with fresh Freesia. So my inks I'm using are fresh Freesia and rich Razzleberry today. So So I'm going to start by stamping with, or inking up with fresh Freesia. I'm going to open the Razzleberry as well. Okay, so I've lightly stamped that. And then I'm going to take one of our finger daubers, and I'm going to use the rich Razzleberry and just dab a little bit right onto the stamp, right on top of the Freesia ink. Just kind of doing it a little bit around the bottom edge for that. Okay, and then this one is going to go part way up. There you go. And the raspberry just gives it a little bit of extra dimension there. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same idea, just move that aside for a minute, with the large tulip stamp. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Freesia, and then I'll get the dauber out and do a little bit on the bottom of that one as well. Add a little bit. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing because I moved it off camera. There we go. So just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then this one, because I'm going to punch it out, I'm going to put it near the bottom of my scrap piece here. Okay, there we go. And that one can go aside. Oh, I should bring out, we should do one more little one on our inside piece. Put that one away. I'll get my little stamp out again. I'm going to do the exact same thing. And I'll stamp that on the inside. Okay, so my tulips are done. Now I'm going to bring in some Pear Pizzaz for the stems, and I want to get, this set comes with 2 stems, so I'm going to use both of them. I have the other one mounted from when I was playing with the card last night. I'm excited to, I just got an order the other day with my new Waves of the Ocean suite, and it has, that set has some gorgeous paper in it. I might bring it out and show you after. It's got some really pretty foil paper, and also some really nice designer series paper. All right, so this, because it's a photopolymer stamp, I can see through. So I'm just going to line it up with my image that I've already stamped. Okay, and then I have a stem. And I'm going to do a leaf as well. We'll do that one. My leaf is, I'm going to just let it run off the page a little bit. There we go. That's my inside card. I can put that aside again. Bring this one back out. So I need my stem again. So I'm using the straighter of the 2 stems right now. And I'll use the curved one in a minute here. So I'm going to just do the exact same thing. Just kind of line that up. And I'll bring in the leaf again. See, I've got 2 leaves mounted on this block. I'll use the other one for the next. I want to go that way. Use the other one for the next image. There we go. Okay. Now this next one, I'm going to switch. I'm going to clean off my one stem so I don't get ink all over the place. And I'll bring in the next one here. So now I'm going to use the more curved one. Okay, so I'm inking that one up, and I'm going to put that one. I want this tulip to go off the edge of the page a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to put this one up a little bit higher. There we go. And we need a leaf on that one too, so I'm going to use a little bit more curvy leaf on this one. And go a little bit closer to the bottom. There we go. I'm going to clean that one off because now I've got ink on both sides of the block. So yeah, we've got lots of exciting things happening right now. I also just got my copy of the new catalog that will go live on May 3rd. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to show you any of it yet. I know I'm not allowed to show you anything on the inside. I might be allowed to show you the cover, but I can't remember the rules on that. So before I get in trouble, I'm going to wait. So you might get that next week, or you might get it in a couple of weeks, depending on what the rules are. But yeah, there's some really nice stamp sets in there too. I also got one of the new stamp sets came with my catalog as part of we've got a convention coming up called On Tour for demonstrators. So with the registration for that, we got one of the new stamp sets to play with. So I'll be doing that soon too. All right, so now I'm going to punch out the tulip that I stamped on the scrap, my larger tulip. I'm just going to line it up here. And I will show you in a little bit some other thing, another thing that you can do with this punch. The reason it's called a builder punch. Okay, but for now, I've got this piece. So I'm going to put this up on dimensionals onto this piece, and I'll just go around the bottom for now. I might end up adding one more after. Once I see where it's actually going to sit on my card. Okay, so again, I can just line that up over top of the stem. Nope, and before I do anything else, I also need to stamp my greeting. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use the Razzleberry for my greeting for this one. So again, I'm going to do a Mother's Day card here. And this is one of the stamps from the Tulip set. Okay, so there's a Happy Mother's Day, there's Happy Birthday, there's a hello, some things that you could use on the inside. There's a get well soon. So lots of different options for this. And I'm going to do that in the top corner here. There we go. All right, so that should be all of my stamping. And then we can start to put the card together. Okay, so I'm going to assemble. Where did I put my glue? There it is. So I'm just using my liquid, multi-purpose liquid glue here. That if you watch regularly, you know this one is my favorite. And I still have I've been unpacking a little bit at a time from my retreat that I went to a couple weeks ago, and my adhesives are one of the things that I've been bringing out as I need them. So some of them are still packed away. I had to run out and grab a couple of them last night. All right, and then I'm going to take my front panel. So I'm just going to put the designer paper onto the white mat. Yeah, and I haven't decided yet quite how I'm going to do the 4-part series here. I don't think I'm going to spread it out over 4 weeks. So you probably will end up getting a couple of bonus, either pre-recorded videos or an extra live video. And I'll try and do it over 2 weeks instead of spreading it out so long. And we'll do just a few different versions of the Gatefold cards. There's a couple of different ones that I found. So I thought it's neat that you can do kind of the same idea in a bunch of different ways, and just also showing how using different product can change up the look of that card. Okay, so these ones just have a small border on them. All right, and now I'm going to do my folding here. So I'm going to grab my bone folder. So when you do your scoring, you usually have one side that has an indent and one side that has a little bit of a bump, so a mountain and a valley. So I always try and put the mountain on the inside of my fold. Doesn't mean that the other way is wrong, just seems to fold a little bit nicer this way. All right, there we go. And then these 2 designer paper panels can mount onto the front on each one of the flaps. And so far it looks like I'm talking to myself today. I don't see anybody watching yet this morning. I forgot to post a reminder this morning. Usually I post I'll be live in 30 minutes reminder, and I got busy this morning and that completely slipped my mind. So hopefully lots of people will catch it on the replay. All right, so there's that one. I'll do the same on the other side. I'll go like this. And when I do this, I like to put the folds together so that I can make sure my 2 panels are mounted even to each other. So even if they're a little bit higher or lower on my card, if they're at least lined up, then it looks okay. All right, so there is my card. I'm going to put the inside in. And then I'll show you the last bit, which is mounting your greeting panel. Okay, so just centering that in the middle. And then to mount this, I'm going to mount it only onto the left-hand side of the card, right? So I'm just going to put adhesive on the back of this half, so the half that has the tulip on it. Because if you put it on both sides, you won't be able to open your card. And then I'm just going to center it on the front. I think that's pretty good. All right, and there's my card. I'm going to put some jewels on. Yeah, and I think I am going to use the pearls again. So I debated between the rhinestones and the pearls, but I think we're going to go pearls today. Okay, so these are our basic jewels. Pearls is what they're called. So pretty self-explanatory. And I'm just going to use a combination of some of the, mine are older, an older version. They have new packaging, but same thing. I use a couple of small ones and a big one here. Maybe over here. We'll go there. Sometimes I really struggle with where to put those things, so and wherever your eye thinks it looks right. All right, so there's our first gatefold card. Okay, so it just opens up and there's the inside. Okay. I really like this color combination and I love that designer paper in the background there. It's really pretty. Okay, so there's my two cards. So same card, exactly the same card, just different products used. Okay. There you go. All right, so I said I would show you one more thing that you could do with that builder punch. And just a reminder, if you comment or interact on my videos, so either on the either during the Facebook Live, on the replay, I also post them all on my YouTube channel, which is also the Artfully Stamped with Tracy. So if you comment anywhere or if you share the video, I will enter your name to win one of these cards, and I'll announce the winner on my next week's live. And I have to go back. I know that I missed it last week, and so I will try and remember to post the winner from the previous card in my comments from this video. I did not do a draw from last week's project because it was a 3D project, so it's a little bit harder to send that one on. I don't think it would do well in the mail. So I'm not going to draw for that one, but I will draw for the previous week's card. All right, so builder punch. So you saw me punch out my stamped image. Okay, and just get a tulip, a one-dimensional tulip there, two-dimensional, I guess. I'm going to sneeze here. Maybe not. Excuse me. Okay, but you can also, if you look, there's the, you can see it here. There's the main tulip image, but then there's also this little part on the side. So if you punch out like one of these and a couple of these, you can put together a little paper tulip. So I just used some of the Simply Marvelous designer paper for this one. So you could do it, you could do a stamped version of it, but with this, yeah, you could do a stamped version of it because I think this little shape here is also the same as the leaf stamp here. So I guess you could stamp it and build your tulip that way. I chose to use designer paper for this one. And I just mounted these two little pieces on with some dimensionals. And then I punched one more in a green to make a little leaf. All right. So you can do that and put that on your card as well if you don't have the stamp set, because I believe the punch is not retiring. So the punch will still be available in the new catalog, but the stamp set that goes with it will not. So if you really like the punch, you can still have your little tulip flowers, just not stamped versions of them. Okay, so you can do it with some pretty designer paper instead. All right, and I'm sure there's probably people, I know that I've seen people use the main image. Let's see if I can find my little, so this part, and punch that out and use it as a jellyfish. So there's always, if you look around, there's always people that have done, they call it punch art, and using the punches in different unexpected ways. So if you have a collection of punches, there's lots of cool little things that you can build. All right, and anything else I need to tell you? Oh yes, I am doing a card class, and it will likely be virtual, but there's a possibility of in-person. So if you're really wanting an in-person class, you can let me know and we'll look into that. So that will be on May the 7th. And for that class, I'm going to do a one-sheet wonder class. So I'm going to teach you how to use one sheet of designer paper. And I'm going to use a smaller sheet. So it'll either be a 4x6 or a 6x6 piece. And how to cut that paper. You'll get the supplies that you need for the cards. You'll get the pattern on how to cut your paper. I might even throw in a bonus pattern. And then yeah, so you'll get all of those things, and you'll have the option of placing an order to get the stamp set that we're using, or another stamp set of your choice, or using your own supplies. So I will have a little bit more information on that in the next week or so. But yeah, so a one-sheet wonder. So we'll make at least 4 cards with the supplies, and you will probably end up with some extra supplies to make more cards on your own if you want to do that. All right. So yeah, so that'll be on May the 7th. So if you're interested in that class, throw your name, let me know in the comments, or send me a message, and I can make sure that you get the information on how to sign up. I should have it all together and ready to go for either the next Facebook Live I do, if I do an extra one this week, or for sure for next Wednesday's class or Facebook Live. All right. So hopefully everyone has a great day. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and sharing and being a part of my stamping journey. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you again either next Wednesday at 10, or I will post an announcement if I'm going to do an extra one this week.